right. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are joining us from. My name is Shivashish, and I'll be your host for this insightful session today. The topic for today's webinar is Muvi Meet, how you can run branded meetings and monetize them all under your own domain. So before we talk about more about Movie Meet, let me give you a very quick overview of Movie. So established in 2010 and headquartered in the United States, Movie was founded with a vision to disrupt the global streaming market. Movie today offers a diverse range of streaming products, an entire ecosystem specifically to cater to businesses of all shapes and sizes. So, whether you are a small business or a large enterprise, our scalable and flexible streaming product portfolio can adapt to all your streaming requirements. From comprehensive OTT platform to fast channels, from on-demand streaming to live streaming, from audio streaming to video streaming, and from deploying websites and apps for mobile and smart TV ecosystems, Movie has a solution for all your streaming needs, which can be accomplished with just a few clicks. And most importantly, you also do not require any coding language to do that. And the best thing that is we are doing with Movie right now is we also now have our streaming focused AI engine called Ali. Our flagship product, Movie One, has been rated as the number one OTT platform on G2. Additionally, our live streaming platform, Movie Live, was also honored as the best live streaming product by the readers of the Streaming Media magazine. And quite recently, Movie has also been named in the Gartner's 2025 Market Guide for Video Platform Services. So that's all about Movie. When most people think about online meetings, they think about generic video conferencing links and to third-party platforms. But for businesses today, meetings are no longer just conversations. They are customer experiences, revenue opportunities, and an extension of the brand itself. That's exactly what today's session is all about, where we are trying to introduce our product, Movie Meet. In this webinar, we'll explore how businesses can go beyond the traditional meeting tools and create a fully branded meeting experience using Movie Meet. From running meetings directly on your own domain to customizing the entire interface with your own brand identity to even monetizing the sessions and with attendee payments in over 135 currencies, Movie Meet is designed to help organizations truly own their meeting experience instead of borrowing someone else's platform. And to talk about this in detail, we have with us David Albert, who is a product manager at Movie. He handles meetings, live streams, and playout pods at Movie and works across the core streaming infrastructure, which includes player, ad, and other streaming systems. David enjoys diving into complex systems and turning them into simple, usable solutions that drive real business and revenue outcomes. Welcome to the webinar, David. Uh, and
Hi,
before we
Shivash.
get hello Raymond. So before I hand over the podium to you, there's a small note for our audiences. You can keep posting your Q&As in the Q&A box, whatever questions you have regarding the product, and Revit will be answering them towards the end of this session in the Q&A. All right, that's it from my side. Thank you, and David, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Shivashish. Thanks for the kind intro. Yes, firstly, thanks everyone for joining. Let me just share my screen. Let's get started. Okay, perfect. So let's start with how Movie Meet as a product is, and to give you some more context, how this webinar will be is we'll be going through a couple of slides talking about Movie Meet and the whole meeting architecture and the market, how it is behaving, and I'll also be going through a bit parallelly on how our movie product actually works and showing you the features and it's working. So it's more of a show and tell. And yes, of course, if you have any questions, please do drop them in the chat and we'll be answering it at the end. So to start with, so what exactly is Movie Meet? So as mentioned, Movie Meet is a complete standalone product. So it is a fully white label platform as well for any business out there. So how is it different and what are we offering? So let's start with what what a meeting is. So currently, what a meeting is just a convenience tool, it bit of a communication tool. So any meeting which your customers or your employees are attending. So what usually happens is they see a URL which they do not recognize. They see an interface which they do not recognize, and they are in an ecosystem which is completely common to all competitors, companies, and providers out there. So this is what they are saying. So what exactly happens in movie meters? What we are providing is we are trying to give you a complete brand ownership. What that means is to completely white label your product in a way where we go through your domain, we try to help you with your UI, we try to put up your brand forward so that users recognize your brand instead of movie. Secondly, yes, of course, any business is trying to make revenue, and we try to make it easier for you. So we'll be going through how we are doing that more in further slides. Third, of course, is host control. So yes, we are providing you better host controls. Any meeting requires proper moderation, and we'll be helping you achieve that. And further, the most important is environment-based meeting. So what we mean by environment-based meeting is instead of someone seeing a particular meeting which you're providing and you're talking in a different browser, in a completely different environment rather than your own company's portal or even your own blog per se. So we are trying to help you incorporate meetings in your own websites and apps, and we'll go through how we do that as well during the course of this webinar. So let's move forward regarding what are the current issues. So before going through any solutions, first we need to discuss what exactly is the problem, right? So the problem, as Shivashish rightly mentioned, this movie meeting is trying to solve. This meeting is a communication tool. It was never built to, be a business ownership tool at all. So it was to provide a better convenience on how to communicate over further distances, and it was never built to provide any business opportunities or a tool to grow any business. But the landscape of the market has completely changed. Businesses are looking to make more revenue in any way possible, no matter whether it be small scale businesses, large corporates, doesn't matter. So what exactly are the pain points they are facing then? So the first pain point, as we mentioned before, is yes, third-party branding everywhere. So imagine your customer, your stakeholder, in any particular party joining a meeting and seeing a interface which does not belong to you. So it is a complete ecosystem which has zero branding of yours. You do not identify by that brand. So you're paying premium fees to help your customers join a particular interface, which puts your brand identity in the backseat. So that is the first pain point in the market. The second is, of course, a generic meeting URL. So, for example, there is a customer. So, a lot of support usually happens over meetings. So, in these meetings, you search the particular company's URL instead of your company. So, they do not give you a proper brand recognition, and you're not taken seriously over such meetings. Third, of course, is the biggest problem out there is monetization. So, as I mentioned before, meeting was always a communication tool. So, to make it monetize, you need to go through the hardship of integrating multiple providers, going through back and forth with them, trying to understand your compatibility, your audience, and try to find better payment gateways with respect to that. So, it's a completely hectic process and chaos out there. Third is the fourth thing is, of course, limited customization. So most meeting tools out there focus on trying to show and trying to improve the performance of the meeting, which also means that they try to limit things as much as possible. So they limit your complete customization. You cannot even change the layouts, and you cannot change the color of the meeting as well. But simple things which provides a better appearance and brand ownership, it's neglected by most providers. The final 2 points are the ones which hit hard, which is, of course, any meeting out there would feel rented. It would not feel owned. So you joining a particular meeting, your customers joining a particular meeting, it always feels like you're in a rented place where there is nothing you identify is there. Imagine being a company with 15, 16 years of experience and not being able to show something in the meeting which they have built throughout by customizing the meeting. So let's move forward, talking about how we are solving all the problems mentioned. So the first and probably the strongest problem solver is branding and white labeling. So how exactly are we trying to help you? So the first thing is, of course, we are trying to give you support for custom domains. So imagine you having a business, let's say cookies.com. So instead of having a particular any other provider's name, you can have cookie.com slash meet as your provider for meetings, and any customer would be able to easily recognize you. Second is, of course, logo upload. Although it might seem like a really small thing, imagine spending so many meetings with your marketing team in trying to find out the colors of your logo and how the your customers would identify them. Imagine putting so much thought into such a small thing and not being able to add it to any meeting out there. So yes, as for us, it is a huge pain point, and we would like to solve that. And third is just to show how customized things can get. So even your browser title or your favicon, which appears for your meeting, can be customized through Movie Meet. So that is how much we are trying to solve this particular pain point. And of course, meeting teams and complete white label experience is a deal breaker for everyone. So you can own the colors and you can completely white label, and movie will be working in the background for you. So when I mention just changing colors, it also means with respect to industries. Healthcare usually uses a bit of green and orange, and a lot of finance uses a bit of violet. So every industry has their own colors and which they completely incorporate in their own interfaces, but they never reflect in their meetings. And of course, we are trying to solve that. So let me just quickly show you how these features actually work in real time. So yes, what I'm showing you currently is the Movie Meet branding interface. It is available under settings. So you'll be able to see an option called domain. So here, of course, you can add any domain you want. So for example, let's say it's dravid.com. So if you have a complete, if you already have a domain called dravid.com, we are of course will be able to support you in having your meetings. It's not just about just having custom domain. Even we are providing you with subdomains as well. So for example, if you're too small to think about custom domains, but you still want to show your brand identity through our meeting URLs, you can of course do that. I can just add a subdomain for you. For example, dravid.movie.com. So we can help you with such URLs as well. So this is the first customization option, which should solve most of the issues. And the second is, of course, page title. So for now, I've just mentioned it as movie meetings. While I start a meeting, I'll tell you how it actually works. And yes, the option to upload your logo and favicon. I've already uploaded one, but nevertheless, let's try again. So let me just try to choose from our assets. Yeah. So I'm just quickly uploading my logo. Perfect. And let me try a different favicon then. So I'm just uploading it right now. Yes. So what you're able to see in the screen is we have also built a preview meeting for you. So whatever changes you're doing will be real time showing up here. So the logo is shown here, and favicon is of course a browser thing which we won't be able to show here. Other thing is, yes, as I mentioned before. So you can easily change the color of the meeting interface. By color, what I mean is, of course, the primary colors. It You could go for all the primary colors you like with respect to the color scales which you already follow in your organization. The primary colors will be affecting all the primary icons and how they fill up when you hover over them, and even how they light up when you actually use them. So, and background color, as the name mentioned, is about how the meeting background color would look. And icon or the text color is just how each icon can be behaving. So once you're set your colors and once you feel this is the right branding which I need for my meeting, you can just go ahead and click on save, and yes, your meeting will be saved. Let me just go back and start a meeting. So until the meeting starts, we can get back to the further slides and we can go forward. So yeah, I think we can go ahead with the poll question for now. So what the reason for poll questions is to understand what the market is doing and also help to drive the direction of the webinar. So the first poll question for today is what describes your current virtual meeting experience? So yeah, please go through the options and yeah, answer the question and yeah, we'll be able to go forward.
For all our audiences, we would request you to please participate in the poll. This helps us understand our audiences in a better way.
Okay, good. So we are looking for so both people have fully hosted and also they are exploring the right product. So yeah, that's good. That's good to know. Okay, then let's go forward with our next USP. Yes. So yeah, the another biggest USP and anything any business would be interested in is to increase their revenue. And yeah, let's go ahead. So, with respect to monetizing the meetings, as I mentioned, yes, the current market is a bit of a chaos. You need to go through a lot of hoops to understand your integrations well, and also need to understand which target audience you're looking for and find providers which apply to that particular audience and geography. So, such things can be easily done through Movie Meet. So just looking at the use cases, as you know, so this is a very wide use case, uh, coming from creators to small companies to bigger enterprises. So yeah, businesses, what are they trying to do? They are trying to monetize any paid consultations, for example, having a medical appointment with the doctor, different kinds of workshops, knitting, weaving, training sessions. Uh, so currently, there's a lot of webinars going on paid training sessions and upskilling, and of course, virtual events and coaching sessions. The other day, even I attended a webinar where they're teaching the basics of playing the keyboard. So yeah, sky is the limit on how you can monetize things, and meetings a pretty good way to you know drive a very knowledge-based revenue, and that is where Movie Meet comes in. So what we do is our payment gateways support 135 plus currencies, which means that your audience will be able to pay across the globe. Most of the countries are going to be supported, which means you can go global very easily. So that is the main thing. So of course, it's a very premium thing as well, where you don't have to worry about a particular target audience or geography market. You can just feel free about sharing your meeting links and marketing them across the globe and getting paid for your content in every way possible. So let's just quickly go through how we actually do this in movie meeting. Okay. So we have this tab called settings. Oh, let me just increase the, oh, don't have it at 100%. Okay. So yes, we have this option called payment gateway. So we support few payment gateways from our end, and how you'll be able to use those gateways is, yeah, uh, once you have configured them, you can come to our pay-per-view section. For example, let me add a pay-per-view here. Let's say called guitar session, and guitar section for an hour. So I'm setting my price as $20 US dollars, and I'm saving it. So what essentially happens is, post doing that, you could come back to your particular content, whichever you're using, and you can go to monetization. And I've already added one. Let me just change that to a different thing then. And yes, of course, post adding that, you need to add the date and time of your event so that users can pay before your event, and you'll be able to gauge the audience and also start your meetings accordingly. So let me just save them. Yeah. Yeah. For example, I go back and try to start a session as an end user. So when you share your meeting links to your end users, they'll be able to see this particular pop-up. Your event time, your event title will be available along with the time zone which you have set, and also the price which you have set. So your users just need to click on proceed, fill in their details, and go through the payment process, and they'll be able to join your meetings. So it's a very simple process with minimal steps. And as I mentioned, most of the currencies out there are being supported, which means you can go global without any problem. So just coming back to the meeting as well. So I was also talking about how we have branding. So you'll be able to see here that the name of the meeting here is the daily stand-up, and the page title is what I gave, movie meetings. So which means any meeting, for example, you might be a company where your employees have a lot of meetings with clients or even internally. So you can just append anything you want with any meeting name out there so that people know your branding even in your meeting names. So that is how little things we are trying to take care of as well. So coming back to our presentation then, yes. So the next USP, which is a very important thing as well for most companies, is embedding meetings anywhere. So by embed, what exactly we mean? So you can add our meeting link, our meeting join button into your websites, your customer portals, any learning platforms. So what is the benefit of this really? So just think about this. You have a customer, you have a stakeholder, and you have given them a meeting link, and you're trying to monetize your service. So they have to first come back to your blog or your company site, then click on the meeting, then go to a different interface to join the meeting, or again go to a different interface to pay for the meeting. So here, your whole customer journey is getting fragmented. So here, you're completely losing on that opportunity to showcase your brand and premium value your customer, because you're asking your customer to go out of your platform to do something. So we are trying to completely remedy that. So you'll be able to add our meeting link anywhere you like inside your websites and your apps, which means the whole meeting interface will be inside your platform. The customer doesn't have to leave, and you'll be able to keep the customer's focus where it matters, which is, of course, your brand and your website. So let me quickly show you how that works. So for example, this is a meeting. So yeah, you'll be able to see that there's a shareable link, and also there is a embed code. So you can just use this embed code, just copy this embed code and paste it in your site, and you'll be able to access this particular meeting's URL just by the click of a button. We also have other option where you can check our webhooks. So our webhooks will help you listen to any event and also send us any event. By any event, what I mean is, for example, yeah, if you have a meeting, you can create them, update them, delete them, start your meeting, stop it, everything. So all this can be taken care through webhook calls. So yes, the only requirement is you have a website or you have an app, and we can help you achieve complete control in your own ecosystem. So I think that is very powerful and a very useful feature for all businesses out there. So let's come back to the rest of the features then. So I think this is a must-have feature for all meetings out there. So any good meeting has good moderation, which means you need to have complete control over how you handle your participants, which means muting someone, turning someone's camera off, removing participants, and of course giving them the option to chat or even disable the chat sometimes. And of course end your meetings so that everyone can leave right away, and also record your meetings, and you can of course use those recordings as well for monetizing. So let's just see how this works real time. So since I've started a meeting, you can use that. Yes, so this is the initial joining screen. Any customer of yours or even you will be seeing. So by default, admin tag has been added. You can of course remove that. Let me just join the session. So this is the complete meeting interface. You have your logo, you have your title, you have your favicon, and also all the primary colors which you have chosen. Everything would be the same. And let me just show you how post controls will be working. For that, let me just copy our meeting link and join in a different window. Yes, so I'm just joining as a guest. Yes, so this is how your end user will be seeing the meeting as well. Let's just go back as the host and try out a few different things. So as you see, I'm the host right now, and I've also joined as a guest. So the first and foremost thing is, of course, spotlighting anyone. So if you have a webinar like what we are doing now, or you have any particular meeting, let's say you have a, a company-wide meeting with your CEO, or you're having a consultation session, you can always spotlight any participant so that everyone in that meeting will be able to view them irrespective of their screen size and no matter which participant they are clicking on. So that is one control. The second control, of course, is you can remove any participant from the meeting. And third is, yes, you can leave the meeting, or even when you're leaving the meeting. Sometimes, yes, sometimes hosts would need to leave a meeting, but they would want the meeting to go on. For that, you can just click on leave meeting. Else, if you want to completely close the session for everyone, you can also click on end meeting for all. So coming to how host controls work, you have an option called lock room as well, which means once you lock the room, anyone trying to access the link, you'll be able to get the request of that particular person, and you can either admit or remove them. Other powerful feature you have is this is a global setting which applies for all the participants of your meeting. For example, let's say I'm saying I'm disabling this option called unmute mic. What that would mean is your participants won't be able to use the mic anymore. For example, I come here, you'll be able to see that it says microphone is disabled by the host. So similarly, yes, I can disable the camera, disable the share screen, disable any other features here. And also you can selectively give access to those features for any particular person as well. So this means you have complete control over the meeting. You are giving specific permissions for specific users. You don't have to define any roles called panelists, host separately. Whoever you need to give such permissions, you can give it dynamically in the meeting right away. So that is a huge differentiator compared to how our market is operating with respect to meeting products. Yes. So coming back to our meeting content. So yeah, just a generic slide to discuss about use cases. So we have of course discussed a lot of use cases regarding meetings, but it's good to just have an overview. So yes, end of the day, what is a meeting? So a meeting is again a communication tool. And with respect to the current market, what are we trying to do? We are trying to push good branding for companies and help them monetize their content better. So where does this apply? Of course, it applies for any industry out there which is trying to push any form of content or any form of internal meetings. So coaches and consultants, if you're a freelancer, you want to have a meeting with your client, yeah, you can do that with a branded meeting. If you're an online educator, where you're selling courses or you're trying to train students for any particular exams, you can show them a branded meeting, give them that premium experience. And of course, you're an enterprise company, you offer paid support to your clients around the world. You would not want them to join a generic meeting. These are people who are making revenue for your company. You can let them join your branded meeting and show them that premium feel. And of course, media companies and workshop creators who have a lot of content to push out. You can have meetings with your customers and you can have paid consultations and paid meetings. So these are the generic use cases which meetings involve. And of course, there are a million more in the market. The only thumb rule is uh, any kind of content you're trying to push, you need to make sure that you have a better branding over it so that your users know that you're serious about what you're doing, and also have a better monetization model so that you can make good revenue over it. Oh yes, I think it's time for the second poll then. Yes. So, how do you currently monetize your meetings or one-on-one video consultations? So, yeah, guys, do let us know how we are doing that. And yes, if you, of course, have no idea about it, you can click on the fourth option. And yes, feel free to check out how the meeting and how we are monetizing them. Okay, good to know. So, yes, with respect to monetization, feel free to check out how movie is doing that and how easy it is to monetize it. Just takes a few clicks to help you make better revenue. Yes, I think this is one of the most important slide, at least in the product manager's perspective, and also for the market. So currently, since movie has achieved its core USP, so what are we trying to go forward with? The first is, of course, webinar mode. What we mean by webinar mode, of course, you can uh, sort of do webinars using any meeting platform out there. So we are trying to build custom web pages, have better analytics for your participants, have better participation management. So all those features would be included when we say webinar. So you'll be able to handle a wide range of audience. I'm talking about huge numbers here. So that is the kind of meeting we are trying to achieve. The second thing is, of course, AI caption. So when you're always going global, currency is not the only factor. So language is a huge barrier out there, and the market LLMs out here are able to solve that pretty easily. So of course, we'll be having AI caption. So yes, language should not be a barrier for you anymore when you're going international. Yes, the third is advanced analytics. Here we are not just talking about basic participants joining. Just imagine having a mixed panel for your meeting. So you would be able to know how many participants are joining your meeting, when are they dropping off, at what point they are dropping off, and of course, really good streaming indicators and meeting health indicators, so that you know if there is something technically wrong with your meeting interface, so that you don't have to offer a poor experience to the users. And yes, I think the fourth and most important point of all is having better monetization workflows, which means more than pay-per-view, we also will be focusing on better vouchers and coupons so that you can expand on your monetization model. You can offer summer discounts, winter discounts, Thanksgiving and Christmas discounts and coupons, and try to give people your sessions as well. So we will work on enabling that for you very soon. Yes, I think that's the end of the webinar, guys. So yeah, feel free to drop in your questions and yeah, we can answer them.
Thank you so much, David. We are open for the Q&A and I'm receiving a few questions. If you have any questions regarding Movie Mate, how will we incorporate it to your existing systems or anything in general, please feel free to ask the questions. Let's start with the Q&A. The first question is coming from Sajiv and he wants to know what is the difference between Movie Meet and Zoom Meet? And do you have any examples of clients which are currently using this OS?
Yes, so the main difference I would say, as far as we have discussed, apart from everything else, the main difference is Movie Meet is a gateway into movie as a whole ecosystem itself. So what do I mean by that? Any meeting you're trying to have paid consultations and your paid sessions, your webinars, all that you're trying to monetize it in some way. And finally, the output of any meeting or your streams are always the recordings. And movie has the ecosystem where you can monetize your VOD well. We provide you a complete OTT solution, which means with movie behind you, you'll be able to not just monetize your meetings, you'll be able to monetize those recordings well and take it to a wider audience in a very OTT way, which most competitors out there won't be able to provide you. So I think that is one major differentiator between any competitor out there in movie.
I hope this answers your question. Also, for our audience, we have a final poll that should be available, visible on your screen as of now. Please do give your inputs on that. All right. Going to the next question. The next question is coming from Rajesh, and he wants to know that if a creator or a educator already has a website or an app, how quickly can they start offering paid meetings through Movie Meet?
Yes, so it would hardly take a few clicks to be honest. So once you get a go ahead from the payment provider, you'll be able to easily integrate. And as I showed you during the webinar, it would hardly take you 2 to 3 minutes to just use our embed code to add our meeting to your interface, be that website or even in your app. So yeah, it is just a few clicks away, and to be honest, just a few minutes away.
All right, we are still taking questions. There's a question that's coming from Sia. Can meetings be live streamed externally to a larger audience?
Yes, that is another USP of Movie Meet. So any meeting which you are conducting, you can also live stream them. You can just use the HLS output and live stream it into any platform, any other platform you like. So basically, it's like having your own webinar platform where you're inviting few panelists or speakers, and you live stream it to a multiple audience. So it's like many to many views. So yeah, that can be easily done with a click of a button through Movie.
All right, I hope this answers your questions here. And this also concludes our session for today. I would like to thank David for taking out his time and being a part of this webinar. Thank you so much, David.
Yeah, thank you, Shivaj.
And as you know, Movie keeps conducting webinars on interesting industry topics and also to showcase some of our best products and offerings. We have the next webinar scheduled, which is on delivering Netflix style streaming quality with movies per title encoding. You can save the date and find a link for registration on our website as well as on our social media platforms. That's it today. Have a nice day. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.